Right, guys, 13th of December. Bit chilly this morning. It was -2. Now it's 3. I think we might get a bit of sun in about half an hour over the ridge. But the sun's still very low in the sky this time of year. So I'd like to make a correction on my video about motoring. And I got a comment off Mr. O'Neill, and it's absolutely correct. That winter tyres, i.e. snow tyres, are not required by law in Bulgaria. There is a caveat, there is a stipulation from date to date, but it wasn't what I thought it was, and what a lot of other people think it was. Even news outlets like Nova Niti, they say winter tyres, and they don't they don't say anything else. And if you look back on the Sofia Globe, they announced actually in 2016 what the law was, which is exactly what Mr. O'Neill says it is, and that's a tread of 4 millimeters, regardless of what type of tyre. So you can drive about on summer tyres, but the law, it did say somewhere, you see all types of different explanations, and I'd like to know the actual wording of the actual law in Bulgarian, which you could look it up, but I won't, because I want to add to this kind of tyre thing. Now, there is one little description that says that tyres are suitable for winter use. Now, no summer tyre is suitable for winter use in Bulgaria, in my opinion. That's just my opinion. He's quite correct on the law, having looked it up now. Absolutely correct. But I would say on 4 millimeters of tread on a summer tyre, you won't be getting far around these parts anyway in the winter. And in fact, I wouldn't be. I couldn't care less what people would want to drive around on. But whether it's the law or not, surely you just get winter tyres. Without a law, there's no law in the UK, but people still get winter tyres, and they're the ones who get up the hill. Now, kind of I was a bit surprised actually that there wasn't and also another caveat that says conditions, if the weather conditions permit, which is what they say in Austria and Germany. They can announce things like they do in the summer. They just say all the wagons stop driving, it's too hot, and they save so they don't rut the roads. And so they do that with the snow as well, and the chains, and they have signs what come on the passes, like going into Switzerland, and that you've got to have chains when the sign's on, and when it isn't on, you don't have to have them. And then they close the passes as well, which they do here quite a lot. Now, I wouldn't advise anybody to go anywhere on summer tyres around here in the snow, because it's quite. Once you get away from the valleys, it's quite steep, the roads, some of them, and that's the danger where you're. If you're on summer tyres and you go up, get a bit of momentum and you get halfway up, and you stop, that's it. That's it. You kind of toast when that happens, because you start sliding back. As soon as you start trying to go again, you tend to start sliding back, and then that's it. Then you end up where you come to a stop, which could be a lamppost, another car, another car coming behind you, which generally that's what happens. You see that in England a lot, you know, just with a little bit of snow. And so that would be my thoughts on that. I mean, quite correct on the law. I can't argue with that. But I wouldn't be going anywhere on the summer tyres, and I hesitate actually to even go out in winter tyres. I do just go down into the village square when the car's got about 6, 7, 8 inches of snow on it. I tend to just clear the windscreen and drive down. Otherwise you get a huge pile of snow every time it snows, and then it freezes then, and around the car. So what I do is I drive down to the village square, because the snow plows pile up all the snow, and I clear all the snow off there, and then give it a little bit of a run. And I quite like going in the snow, not the ice, but it's quite good in fresh snow driving with snow tyres, testing the grip and testing the brakes and stuff like that. But I wouldn't do it with summer tyres. They said it was a cost thing, that like they do, and because parts of Bulgaria don't have snow, which they do. There's nowhere in Bulgaria that doesn't have a certain amount of snow, mostly in the winters. There are places that have a little bit of snow and they're probably flat, so and the cities are cleared of snow and well gritted, that kind of thing, But there's nowhere that doesn't have snow. They don't have much down in the southwest and southeast corners, but everywhere else they do. And even on the plains, even if they don't have a lot of snow, they have ice and very low temperatures. On the Danube plain, it's often colder there than it is here in the mountains, because they get these areas of high pressure and clear skies and a little bit more wind than we get, so they get slightly colder temperatures sometimes in the plains. And I would say I wouldn't advise anybody to go around it, especially in the snow and the ice, summer tyres. And even in the ice, even winter tyres aren't that brilliant. They're not fail safe by any means. You've still got to have a certain amount of skill with the driving as well, even with winter tyres, And you see bridge decks as well. They ice over very quickly, bridge decks, because the temperature's going underneath them as well, freezing cold. And you get like where the snow's banked up by the snow plows at the side of the road. When the sun gets on it, if it's sunny during the day, it all melts and seeps like across the road, and that's then, as soon as the sun goes in, that's a sheet of ice then. And every time it snows here, it's the same story. Every time you go out, I wait till I know when the road's been cleared and it's kind of dry a little bit and they've gritted them, and then I'll venture out. But I'll turn round if I'm not happy with it. I'll just come back. I mean, not everyone can do that, but and the people that do have to travel, they're the people who should definitely have proper snow tyres on, because it's not just the tread of these tyres, it's the rubber. The rubber's different on the proper snow tyres. It's like it's grippy, and the summer tyres are the opposite. They go hard. and slippy, so they're even worse. They go the other way. So why they would? But nothing surprises me anyway. In BG, that they allow that. I would have put the caveat in that, like, if weather permitting, and if there's signs like up or anything like that, like they have in Austria and Switzerland, then you've got to have whatever it says on the sign, So that would be my answer or expansion on there. But it's quite right. But I'd have winter tyres anyway, even if there wasn't a law. I'm not saying it's wrong or anything like that. It's quite absolutely correct. And it doesn't always say it when they make the announcements in most periodicals and stuff, and even websites. And a lot of them just say winter tyres. So, that's what they may mean. Because the government deemed that tyres with 4 millimetres of tread on, summer tyres, are deemed that they're suitable for winter. And they're not. I'll guarantee that they're not. Now, if you want to just have a little look further, I've just watched a video by CarWow. Just put in CarWow. Snow tyres versus summer tyres, and they had 2 cars. One was front wheel drive, and one was 4-wheel drive. And they had a test ramp, a wall of snow in front of them. So they started off, and they changed the tyres halfway through. The little car with the front wheel drive had snow tyres on, and that went up the hill, no problem, and could manoeuvre as well when it got to the top, which was a little bit steeper as well. And the other car had summer tyres on, and I'm sure they would have been over 4 millimetres. If they're doing it on CarWow, it's probably brand new tyres, Summer tyres, and it couldn't even start going up the hill. Now he did get a part way up the hill, and this is the scenario I described, which you see this all the time in England. As soon as it snows, and you get anything like that, like cars will be going up, and on the summer tyres, when they stop or lose traction, that's it, game over. Wherever you end up, that's where you're going, behind you. And that's what happens all the time, every year. And then you see people coming down the other way, and the same thing. Once they start sliding, that's it, bang. They stop when they get the immovable object, or you start going up the other side. That's when you stop. And I guarantee every year here, when I go to town after they've had snow and that, you see cars everywhere. And a lot of them hit lampposts. Maybe they keep going until they hit something. Maybe that's why they hit the lampposts. I'm always wondering, how did you end up there? Why do you always hit something? And that, maybe because they've been sliding. And that's where the actual get stopped by the lamppost. Or a lot of them crash into the bridges, into the abutments and that, and the railings. And I used to wonder why that was, but I know why it is now, because the bridge decks freeze, and these people coming around the corner, even on winter tyres, and on summer tyres, you got no chance. No, it's not a hope. Not 4 mil, 10 mil, whatever tread. You've got no chance. If you hit that at the wrong speed, and you just even start sliding, that's it. You don't stop until you hit a solid object. And every year's the same. Go into town after the snow, and there's cars everywhere. I wouldn't say everywhere, 2 or 3 at least, on a journey into town, or in a ditch, and going up the mountains here. You wouldn't get far on summer tyres, however much tread you've got. You just wouldn't get up it. Even in snow tyres, I wouldn't go near them. The mountain passes here, if I didn't have to. Which most people don't have to, really. Let's face it. Unless you're a travelling salesman for a summer tyre company or something like that. Then you've got to go and sell your tyres. But you can go round here. There's 2 passes, one towards Sofia, Tetovan, and one towards Plovdiv, and that's higher. There's 2 passes around here, and a lot of the time they're closed in the winter. Because if you get 10 inches of snow down here, it'll be half a metre up at the top. And they have the signs at the bottom that say when they're open and when they're closed. But so that'd be my view on the winter tyres. And it wouldn't always be, for me anyway, it wouldn't always be exactly what the law states. And I'm not saying I'm not trying to say it's incorrect or anything like that. But like in this case, I would absolutely say it's irresponsible. Absolutely. Seeing the carnage what we get around here. And that's, some of them will be on winter tyres as well. Ice, if you hit ice, doesn't matter what tyres. And I find that you slide on the bridge decks. So if you don't hit them at the right speed and and a lot of them are on bends because they're going over the river. The road swaps side to side of the river. So invariably there's a bend going onto the bridge. And the number of cars that hit these bridges regularly, even in the rain, when it's not even cold, it happens all the time. Because they get slippy. Anyway, so that's my view on the winter tyres, and I think that they're an absolute must in Bulgaria. An absolute must, law or no law. Okay. Cheers. And thanks, Mr. O'Neill.